Okay, so our first video kind of showed us how to build up 2-point perspective, just simple cubes, and what I did was I built them both up under the eye level, okay, so that we're almost kind of looking down on them. So our eye is up here and we're looking down the way. What I'm going to show you in this video is, again, we're just going to stick to cubes, but we're going to have a wee go at drawing above and below the horizon line. And in fact, we'll even try doing one on that horizon line just to show you what it looks like, because sometimes people do get a little bit confused. So I'm taking a fresh sheet here now. If you've not got loads of paper kicking about, feel free to just flip it over. I will reuse these in future kind of videos. So as we did in the last video and in our last few practice efforts, we drew our horizon line, or our eye level. Okay, now what we were doing was we were drawing it quite high, and we were almost using that as a kind of way to draw kind of how we would normally see objects if we were to sketch them. Okay, what we're doing is we're making this eye level or horizon line a little bit lower this time, so that you have an idea of how to draw above and on that line. Okay, it's not an essential thing you have to do. Most of the time it would be that you're looking at it that sort of way, but if you were drawing things like buildings or maybe larger objects that would potentially go above your eye line or even across both, so maybe you can see some of it underneath where your eyes are and some of it above where your eyes are, it's a really good technique to know. So got my vanishing point 1, let's just put this one here, and vanishing point 2. Okay, so again, that's nothing new here. What we're going to do is we're going to try this, and I'm going to do a few on this page just to get a wee bit of practice in. Okay, so I've got this thing here, which if you remember was our leading edge, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to start by joining those points up to my vanishing points. Okay, so nothing new as yet. This is exactly the same way we did it in the first video. I'm below the horizon line. I'm just a wee bit off to the side, but it makes no difference to kind of the object we're drawing. So I've got my sides built up, so I've got my left and right, and then all I'm doing is taking it back to the horizon line nice and lightly, and then that's me got my first cube. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to draw a few on this page, and that's just to kind of save us a wee bit of paper, but also just to get your head around drawing multiple objects. Okay, as I say, you might be drawing something that's a bit more complex, like a building or potentially a street, so there will be a few items on that page. It's not just going to be one random little cube on its own. Okay, so that's my first one done, same technique as we did in the previous videos. I'm going to start my next one, and I'm going to have it maybe about here. Okay, so it's still below my eye level, so I'm still going to kind of be looking down on the object. Okay, what I'm going to start to do here is build it up exactly the same way. So I'm trying to use those nice light lines that we've used previously. Okay, now what does start to get a little bit confusing when you're working like this is you end up with quite a lot of lines. Okay, basically what we're trying to do at the minute is just ignore what we've already drawn, so this bit essentially doesn't exist to us, and we're just focusing on the one object that we're working with at the minute. So got my front edge, build up my two sides, whatever kind of size I want that to be. Again, keeping my vertical lines vertical, and then again, like I said, we're just ignoring everything else on the page. It is quite busy and it does get a wee bit confusing, but if you just ignore the other bits, you can kind of see what's going on. Okay, and because we're drawn lightly, it doesn't matter if we've got lines that kind of overlap like this line here from our original drawing, because we should be drawn nice and lightly. And then once we're happy with the object, we can be darkening that up. So I'm just going to do a couple here, but you're of course welcome to go ahead and practice more. Obviously the more you do this, the more comfortable you get with it. Very much a practice makes perfect kind of task. So I've got two cubes here below my eye level or my horizon line. Okay, so I can kind of be looking down on them. So what I said at the start was we're going to have a look at how to build stuff up above the eye level. Okay, so stuff that's taller than you or higher than your normally. Okay, exactly the same technique, it's just kind of backwards this time. So build up my leading edges. Now I'm going to try and do kind of again two like I had here. I'll work on one at a time. So we'll start with this one, exactly the same thing as what we've been doing previously. we're just starting with taking it back to our vanishing. Oh, my ruler went a bit slidey there, we'll rub it out. And again, because I am drawing nice and lightly, or as light as I can for the camera, it's dead easy to rub out. Okay, if we'd drawn quite dark to begin with, it would make it a bit more challenging to rub out that wee mistake. So, I've taken my sides back, and then all I need to do, exactly the same as before, build up my sides, and then in this case it's actually the bottom I'm building up, but it's exactly the same technique. So we've got that lined up, and we've now got that that third, I should say, third cube all together, but this one is now above the eye level. Okay, so if you imagine this is where your eye is, we're now looking up at it, and that's how we can see this bottom edge. Okay, and again, I'm just outlining it to make it a wee bit clearer what's what on the page. My ruler's getting a wee bit minging now. You can see it's making a lot of marks on my page. Let me give it a wee wipe off. Because it's metal, it's picking up quite a bit of the sort of lead off the page. So, second attempt of doing one above eye level. So, vanishing point 1, we're running back. Vanishing point 2, we're running back. Now, as I say folks, the lighter you can keep these lines, the better. Okay, now we are starting to get quite busy here. It's fine, it's not anything to worry about. Remember, we're just ignoring that and focusing on the one object that we're drawing just now. So, taking that thickness, and again I'm going to take this one, let's take it quite far back. I'm going to go that far back, quite a long object. Again, making sure it's vertical and it runs to the 2 points. Okay. And I'm actually going to darken up just now, just because I'm thinking, do you know what, it maybe is getting a wee bit busy on this page. I might start getting a bit confused when I build the bottom in. So I'm just wanting to make it a wee bit easier for myself. And in fact for you guys to see as well. So we've got the sides, and now we just need to build in that bottom surface. So we take the corner back, and we take the corner back. So vanishing point to the corner, nice and light, corner, vanishing point, nice and light. Okay, and then it's just a case, as always, of darkening up our lines. Okay, so what we've got there is two objects drawn above the horizon line, or above our eye level, so we're looking up at them, and then two objects that are drawn below our eye level, or horizon line, so again we're looking down at them. Now, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to highlight my horizon line a wee bit for you, just so that you can see what's going to happen in a wee second. Okay, so this one here along the middle is my horizon line, and I'm going to draw something that's maybe goes into both areas. Okay, so some of it might be below where you're looking, and some of it might be above. Okay, so for example, maybe a bookcase in your house, or a building on your street, or something like that. So exactly the same technique, there's just a couple less lines to draw on this actually. Okay, so leading edge done, and you can see some of it, if this is my horizon line here, I'll just try and highlight it, some of it's above eye level, some of it's below eye level. Exactly the same method, though that just happens to nicely line up there. One back to the vanishing point, back to the vanishing point. Now, because it's below and above eye level, we can't actually see the top and bottom surfaces. Okay, all we're seeing is kind of the sides. So it might be I'm going to make this a skinny one actually. That's one side there, and then let's say that this one sits there. Okay, that's that one done. Okay, when we're looking above eye level, we can see the bottom of an object, and when we're looking below, we can see the top of it. Because we're on both, we actually can't see either, which does make your life a little bit easier. Okay, so what we've got there is this object that kind of crosses both. Okay, and again, like I've said a few times, that could be that you're maybe going to have like a wee building or a sort of city, so you might build up a wee door. Okay, so remember, vertical lines are vertical, horizontal lines run to vanishing points. So that's going back. So maybe that's like a building or something that I've drawn there, and that could be the wee door on it. Maybe I would want to add in a little window. Now I'm actually just going to take a couple of the projection construction lines that are already there just to make it a wee bit easier. You can see I've got that line running up, and maybe if I put a couple of windows on. Now it's quite a small building, it seems to just be floating in the air, but hey ho. And what we've got there is now that we're able to draw on that surface. Now what was slightly different when I'm drawing on the surface is that because it's on this face, I need to take it back the same direction that the lines run, okay? If I were drawing on this face, because all the lines go back that way, I would make sure that I take the lines back that way as well, okay? But that's kind of how we would do 2-point perspective objects below, which we've already covered, above your eyes, and then kind of a mix of the two, okay?